Today, we're diving into a breakthrough that doesn't come from some shiny, high-tech lab. Nope, this one comes from a place you would never, ever expect. We're talking about caterpillar chemists and a pretty incredible new hope in the fight against cancer.
So let's just start with a really wild idea. What if one of the next big breakthroughs against cancer wasn't meticulously designed in a sterile lab, but was actually being cooked up right now inside the gut of a caterpillar?
I know. It sounds like something out of a movie. But scientists followed this really strange trail of clues. It all starts with medicinal plants, then leads to this very hungry little guy, the larva of a swallowtail butterfly, and it ends, believe it or not, with its poop, or as scientists call it, frass.
And this wasn't just some random shot in the dark. You see, as the researchers behind this study point out, insect frass has actually been used in traditional medicines in Asia for a long time. But here's the catch. Nobody had ever really dug into what was in it, or how it actually worked. That's the mystery they wanted to solve.
So how in the world do you test a wild idea like this one? Well, the researchers came up with a really simple but totally brilliant experiment. Let's call it the Great Caterpillar Taste Test. The whole setup was just beautifully straightforward. First, they split the caterpillars into a few groups, and each group got to munch on one of 3 different plants. Then, they collected the frass from each group. Step 3, they carefully extracted all the chemical compounds out of that frass. And then, the final step, the moment of truth, they took those extracts and applied them to human colon cancer cells to see what would happen.
And this is where the experiment gets really exciting, because what they found was a truly remarkable cancer-killing discovery.
Okay, so first up, the frass from the caterpillars that ate a plant called Oenanthe javanica. They tested it and, well, nothing. Absolutely nothing happened. The cancer cells were totally fine. You can see here the cell viability, which is just a fancy way of saying the percentage of cells that survived, is hanging out right around 100%. All right, next up was fennel. The researchers did the exact same thing and got the exact same result. A whole lot of nothing. The cancer cells were completely unfazed. So at this point, it's kind of looking like this whole thing might be a bust. But there was still that third plant, right? This is where it all changes. And here it is, the breakthrough. The frass from the caterpillars that ate the third plant, Angelica keiskei, it was absolutely devastating to the colon cancer cells. Just look at that huge drop in the bar. It caused a massive decline in cancer cell viability.
How devastating. Get this, cancer cell viability just plummeted to only 10.4%. But here's what makes this truly mind-blowing. Think about chemotherapy. It often works like carpet bombing, right? It kills cancer, but it also damages a lot of healthy cells. This extract, though, it was incredibly specific. It didn't do much to other types of cancer cells. And this is the crucial part. When they tested it on normal, healthy human cells, it left them completely unharmed. This wasn't just a poison. It was like a targeted missile.
Okay, so we know what happened, but the much bigger question is why? What was the magic ingredient here? What was so special about this one plant and this one caterpillar? It's time to uncover the caterpillar's secret recipe.
So the first clue was hiding in the chemical makeup of the plants. Turns out the Angelica keiskei plant, the one that worked, was the only one that contained these special antioxidant compounds called chalcones. And it didn't just have one. It had 13 different kinds. The other 2 plants, 0. So, the chalcones are ingredient number 1. The second clue came from the caterpillar's own body. See, when it ate the Angelica keiskei plant, its gut just kicked into overdrive, producing enormous amounts of a very specific digestive enzyme. You can see on the chart, its production was way higher than when it ate the other plants.
And when you put those 2 clues together, you get the answer. It's basically caterpillar chemistry. The caterpillar eats a specific compound from the plant, the chalcone. Then it uses its own special gut enzyme to transform that compound into something totally new. And that new substance just so happens to be a powerful cancer fighter.
And here is the absolute kicker, the part that's just amazing. When the scientists took an extract from the plant leaves directly and put it on the cancer cells, nothing happened. The plant by itself did nothing. It was only after being eaten, digested, and processed in the caterpillar's gut that these compounds turned into a cancer-killing agent. The caterpillar wasn't just a delivery truck. It was a tiny, living biochemical factory.
So, what does all this mean for the future? Well, this discovery could open the door to something we might call the insect factories of tomorrow. This diagram from the paper really lays it all out. You've got these harmless ingredients from the leaf that go in one end. Then, the caterpillar's amazing gut enzymes get to work, totally transforming them. And what comes out the other end, in the frass, are brand new ingredients that have this powerful biological effect that the plant never had on its own.
So why does this one little caterpillar matter so much? Because it points to a completely new way of thinking about drug discovery. Instead of trying to build complex molecules from scratch in a lab, we could use insects as these tiny, super efficient biochemical factories. It proves that nature already has the equipment to turn simple plant stuff into incredibly complex and powerful medicines. It just highlights this huge, untapped pharmacy that's all around us.
And that really brings us to the final thought here. This one caterpillar, just by eating one specific plant, managed to create a substance that can hunt down and kill a specific type of cancer cell while leaving healthy cells alone. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other incredible life-saving secrets are just waiting to be discovered? Not in a billion-dollar laboratory, but inside the smallest of creatures.